So, welcome everyone. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the first STACKIT system demo in 2023. My name is Christian Neubert. I'm part of the product management in STACKIT, and I'm looking forward to present you the latest outcome of our product teams from STACKIT. At the end of today's session, you will be eager to use STACKIT as your cloud provider, because we want to show you much today. We show you improvements from UX side. We show you improvements from existing services, so we have new versions for you available, and we have brand new services in our luggage. So, be curious. And I'm not alone here today. I have two important STACKITeers by my side. Here's Robin Herrmann and Matthias Sutter. Great to have you here. I think it would be great if you can have a little bit words about yourself, who you are and what you're doing in STACKIT, because you're both driving and pushing the product development in STACKIT, so the audience will be very curious about that. Robin, if you want to start, it would be great. Maybe you can have some words about, from your point of view, where is STACKIT heading for?
Yeah, thanks a lot, Chris, and thanks for having us here today, and thanks to all of our customers, partners, and colleagues for being in the session today. First of all, I'm quite new in STACKIT, also being quite a long time in the company, and my role is head of product and software engineering, which sounds quite complicated, but to make it easy, I oversee everything that is product development and operations, so everything that makes our STACKIT cloud platform. Looking at where we are and where we are heading to, we still work a lot to achieve our vision, which is gaining or making Europe independent and digital, and therefore having a secure and reliable cloud provider is quite an important thing, and we want, of course, to be that secure and that reliable cloud provider. And as I said, security and reliability are, of course, the must-haves of a cloud provider. We also focus very much on providing a hassle-free experience, which means, as we do in our core retail business, where we really focus on doing things as simple as possible, we also put simplicity first when we create our STACKIT products, which means providing an easy user experience to all of our customers. Yeah, and last but not least, putting customers and partners at the center of everything we do. So we really try to deliver products to also behave in a way that our partners and our customers like working with us, as we really try to establish long-term relationships with them. So we are here for the long game, not just for something short. So really happy that we are striving for those goals. And also, I'm very proud looking at what we already have achieved. So, I mean, you can see a lot of the things that we achieved during the last month, but also having seen the growth of STACKIT, the things that the colleagues developed, the platform that we already have. I'm really proud of what we together as a team achieved, and quite happy that we can present so many new things today. And so, thanks for having us here.
Cool, and thank you for putting all that together. I think, that's the thing what we are focusing, even by design. So you mentioned security and so on. So this is something that we have really in the DNA of our development, and that's very important. And of course, also I want to pick up that hassle-free experience. In the best way, we have a self-explained journey for our customers, and we are striving for that. So thank you, Robin, for bringing that up. And now, Matthias. I will say, Mr. STACKIT, you're person zero in STACKIT. So you started here from the first day in STACKIT, and let's grow all up these things that we have now. After you introduce yourself briefly and tell something about your role, it would be very interesting for me and also for the audience out there, I think, how do you perceive the past, maybe the last year? So what did we achieve? How did you perceive that?
Yeah, Matthias Sutter, my name, and I'm a little bit longer there than Robin, so really number one, number two, it doesn't matter. I'm responsible for a Chief Product Owner office, and Chief Product Owner, that's my role, and in this role I am responsible for the STACKIT portfolio and the product alignment. So what we do for the future, what we want to place, what we want to build. So that's my story, what I do every day. And if I take a look backwards. So the last year, I think I have two big things in my mind. One is really we grow. So we hired a lot of, and we find, that's more important, we find a lot of new people, talented people, professional people that can work with us. And that's the foundation for everything what we do. So we need really cloud experts that are able to build this platform. And if you don't have that, so we will not able to do something really cool. So that's really one big milestone. The second one is really, if you take a look to the product, what we achieved last year, we went live. So that was a really big milestone for external that enables us to have more customers on the platform and to see and to learn how it's working. And with that, we also was able to deliver some improvements and especially some cross-platform things. For me, in my mind, is the Argus integration in other products. We launched some new flavors for compute that we have more different things that you can scale more. And also we create something with API first, really in each product, so that we are able to have some cloud-native platform, infrastructure as code, some pattern that we can really scale. So that is my mind for the last year, what we achieved.
So great. So if I hear that we are able to attract new talents, that we are able to launch new services and improve our services, I think STACKIT will even grow faster in the future. And I think this is all that we want. So also the look in the past and also a little bit in the future, what we are doing, I'm quite confident that we will do it. So great. And thank you. Yeah, and thank you that you are introducing yourself and having some words. It don't take long. Then we come to our real heroes here, to our product teams that will present the outcomes of STACKIT. So I invite you both to have a seat to enjoy the session. And also, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to raise them. And yeah, thank you very much that you were here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. And you out there, I want to give you two general things up front before the product teams come on stage. And because we have now also in that settings new possibility. One possibility is that we can record this session for you, and we will do so. So we can put that session afterwards to our STACKIT web page. You can go to STACKIT DNS to the news section, and there we will link it. And then in the future, you can have a look at it again. So if you want to see something twice, if you want to recommend it to someone, you can just share the link, and then it's available. The second thing is that we are really interested in your opinion about this session, but to be more explicit, to be interested in your feedback about the outcomes from the product teams. For that, we provided a survey for you. I think the event team now will display the QR code that you directly can open the survey. Just open it during the session, then you can fill it out. And when the part of a product team comes in, then you can directly give us feedback. Why you should do that? Because you can profit twice from that. On the one hand side, that's maybe the more important thing, we can incorporate the feedback that we become from you into our product. So we can improve your products. Like Robin said, and also Matthias mentioned, we put you as our customers in focus. And so that we can do so, we need your feedback. So take part in the survey. If you have any improvements, idea, or you just want to praise us because you love what you see, go to the survey and tell us. The second thing is, I'm back again. We have a prize for you. So we will draw a prize, a backpack and a bottle for you we have here prepared that you can win it. Just check the box during the survey, and then you can, you have the chance to win it, and you can take part in it. Then, the last thing before I call the teams here on the stage is all the stuff that was created for you and will now shown to you will be shown in a live demo. So everything is real. Here is nothing mocked, so you can just use it after you see it. So you see great new service and you want to try it out. Go to the portal, go to the API, use it, and have fun with it. There's one prerequisite for that. So you have to be a STACKIT customer. And if you're not STACKIT customer so far, you just can follow the form. You can follow this QR code. And then you come to a contact form, fill in your information, your contact information, and the sales guys will contact you, and you can be part of the STACKIT family. So this is everything so far. I want to say upfront, we can go in and jump in directly into the presentation of our outcomes. So I'm really looking forward that Patrick will come up to the stage now and will have first information for us. Hey,
Good
Patrick,
morning.
great
Hi.
to have you here. Thank you. Yeah, you are one of the heroes I mentioned. So you're part of STACKIT, you're part of a product team. Maybe you can have some words about yourself, in which team you are working and what your team is doing.
Yes, sure. I'm Patrick Kopf. I joined the STACKIT family 1 year ago already. And my job is I'm the product owner of the STACKIT Resource Manager. And what my team is mainly focusing on is giving you as a customer the ability to better structure your resources and organization and project data in STACKIT, so you always keep track and overview of your services.
Ah, yeah, cool. So you are in direct contact with our customers with the resource manager.
Yes.
And I know you don't only have the resource manager in place, there's also something more. And yeah, I'm looking forward that you just jump into your demo on your presentation and you just can go ahead.
Yeah, sure.
So you received the QR code twice, so we want to ensure that you can take part in the survey.
So
No.
I guess my screen is visible now. And maybe let us just start. So yeah, what I already said, we are working here for the resource manager, me and my team. And yeah, the resource manager is basically a new thing which changes a lot in how you can use or you first view of the STACKIT world. So what it is about, I already said. Having an active organization is the prerequisite to book any to order any project in STACKIT, and having any project in STACKIT is the prerequisite to order any cloud service. So before you start using anything in STACKIT, you always need to have an active organization and an active project. And this also gives you the ability to make fine-grained access control based on project or organization level. So you always have the overview who can access what in STACKIT. But now let us just start in the live demo. That's already enough for without live demonstration. So give me a second. I just need to switch to the live demonstration. So now you will see sorry, that was the wrong one. Sorry for that. That was my fallback screen. But I want to use this one because we not only introduced the resource manager, we also introduced a new announcement window for you. You will very likely see this in the near future more often. We will not use it for every new feature in STACKIT, but we mainly will use it whenever we change something in the navigation. So, for example, the resource manager is one example of this. The navigation through your products changed a lot with the resource manager, and that's why we wanted to give you a short information where it is now located. And therefore, we also introduced this announcement window. And in case you want to get more information, you see here the link out to the knowledge base documentation. Feel free to navigate through this and get more details besides the demonstration I will now give you. So let us close the window and jump into the resource manager. So the resource manager is located on the upper right of the STACKIT portal. And if you open it, you get an overview about your organizations you have inside STACKIT. In this demonstration, I have two test organizations created. We have here the STACKIT Business Development and another company. Now it looks like my connection was gone.
Okay, so that means we have two options there first. So we can have that information window where we can put information if something new during the within the navigation. But we also have the possibility to announce bigger services or something with that.
Yes.
Okay, that's great. So it's a little bit, I would say, improvement of UX because you directly get information and when you need it. And the next thing is about the resource manager. So I can I have the structure of my projects there.
Yes.
Can you have a little bit more words about that?
Yeah, you have the structure of your project. So on top you have the organization, and below the organization you then have the ability to create projects. And with the projects you then can order within the project several services. So all the services you already saw previously, and also all new services which you see later in the demonstration can get ordered based on project level, and there you can navigate through it.
Yeah, that sounds great. So if I have the structure of it, I can structure it in the way my company prefers it, and then I can make roles or can configure the access to these projects.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
And what is also important to mention is that we now start with the organization on top and having projects below it, but then that's not the end. So we will also give you the option to structure it more based on your needs. So adding more layers like folders in between, so you can group however you need it for your business. So having, for example, on top your company, and then for every department one folder, and then below the folder the project. So that's not the end what you see now in the STACKIT Resource Manager, and
cool. But the customer has already the chance to organize the company to his needs.
Yes.
Cool.
That's it.
Very cool. Then thank you for showing these two parts.
Yes.
And so that's directly the thing that you will see if you entering STACKIT, if you log into the portal, you will see that information modal, that window where you get new information. And if you are there, you can configure it for your needs, configure the resource manager, that you have the structure like you want to have it in the portal.
Yes, exactly. Just reach out to the knowledge-based documentation to get more insights and learn how to use it.
Okay.
And it's already live, so feel free to test it.
Okay, then thank you, and thank you that we are here and was presenting that to our audience. I think that was a first good thing that we see today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Good. Okay, so like I told you, we're starting with some UX improvements. That was it. Not only UX improvements, you also get the resource manager, but we will continue. And I told you that we also have some new services for you available. And for that, Henry and Manuel coming up to the stage now.
Good morning, Chris.
Hi, Henry.
Hi,
Manuel. Great that you are here. You have another great thing for us in place that you want to show today. But I think before we go into that topic a little bit more deep, then you can have also some words about your name, your role, and also about the team that you're working in.
Yeah, sure. Good morning together. I'm Henry. I'm a cloud product owner at STACKIT. I'm working in a domain central services. We provide several central services like monitoring with Argus, like DNS, DSA, Data Service Access with several databases, and the new Secrets Manager. Next to me is also my colleague.
Hello, my name is Manuel Stein, and I work as a cloud developer in the same team as Henry does, and I'm one of the developers for the Secrets Manager.
Okay, so nobody will be surprised that Secret Manager came the first time into the system demo because it's brand new and you can introduce a whole new service to us, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, great. Then we're looking forward to that.
Okay, so Secrets Manager, what is it all about and what can you do with it? In the Secrets Manager, you can store sensitive information. For example, if you have some coding, you don't want to store sensitive information like passwords there. And if you look at the example on the left, you see, for example, that there is some password, and you don't want to share that information with the whole world, but also not with the whole company. So with the Secrets Manager, you have the possibility to store that sensitive information in the secrets manager. So you can interact with the secrets manager, you work with variables, but you can share your code with others in the company or even the whole world if you work with GitHub, for example, and the sensitive information is protected. But of course, it's not only for passwords, it's also for configuration files, bigger texts. It can save any text up to 1 megabyte, and it's stored encrypted in the secrets manager. But that's not all. For example, if you have several people, several applications who interact with the secrets manager, and you decide to change the password, then there is no need to run around with sticky notes with the new password. You just change the password in the secrets manager, and everybody who is connected with the secrets manager already retrieves the latest password. Next advantage is we have several versions. So you have a history of your previous passwords, so you can always check what was my previous password, especially if you create a new one. Or, for example, if you change the password and the new password makes some troubles in your applications, you can easily restore the previous password. And the greatest thing is it's really cheap. We made a comparison, and we don't have additional costs like API calls or other stuff. It's only 74 cents per secret per month, so very simple pricing, no hidden costs. But we're here at the system demo, right, Chris? So let's jump into the portal and create our secrets manager service.
Yeah, great.
In our portal, we have a new section now, security, and here you find the secrets manager. You just click it, you click on create, and Chris, do you already have a secrets manager?
Not yet, it's brand new.
Not yet, then let's create one for you, Chris. There you can see 50 secrets are included already, and every secret which comes on top costs 74 cents, so it's paid individually, so very easy. And also fast. I just click on create, and boom, there's the new service. Manuel, what can we do with that new service?
Thank you very much, Henry. So now you have seen how to create one instance of the secrets manager, but what can we actually do with it? Let's have a look. So when I enter this instance we have just created, you see there's an overview pane, and in here we have some general information about the secrets manager instance. We have some endpoints. Those are very important links, because here you find the front-end URL, which I will just click here, and then you see there opens a new window, a new tab, where you can enter some credentials, but we will get to that back later on. The next very important URL is the API URL, because you can already use the secrets manager per API. You could have used it already in the past, but now it's also integrated into the portal. And another important resource down here is the CLI. So we have a command line interface for this product actually. But since you have seen on the Vault page that we need a user and a password, so as you can see here on the left side, there's also a users tab. So let's see what we can do there. First of all, we can create a user. And as you see, it's very simple. You only have this one option here and a description that is optional. This option here is pretty self-explanatory, so you have a read-only or a read and write user. Read-only can only read the secrets, and read-write can also create some secrets or change them. I will select read-write for that, and since we have no possibility to enter a name here because it's automatically generated, we still provide some functionality for you to be able to determine which user is for which purpose. So for example, this one here is just for Chris at the system demo. So let's create this one. And now it's very important, because this is the only place where you will see the password. Since it's nowhere stored on our databases, because it's a secure service, you have to notify your password right here, because as soon as you click on done, the password is gone for you. So let's keep this open and try to authenticate to our vault. Just a password, and then we can sign in to our instance. And as you can see, we are using the HashiCorp Vault as a technology underneath. And also you can see there is now this newly created instance named quiz. So let's see what we can do with this instance. When I enter this one, you see there is a list of secrets, but we got none so far because it's newly created. So let's create a secret for now. First of all, you have to maintain the path or the name of the secret. You can just type it, for example, object storage secrets, because it's just a simple name. But you can also write in a path. So for example, when you have some, or you want to order your secrets a little bit in a certain way, you can also type in a path here. So let's take some secrets we want to provide this instance with. So since I've chosen the object storage example, I will use some secrets we have in there. One of them is the access key ID, and another one is the secret access key. Sorry, typo. So now when I click on save, the new secret has been created, and you can see the values of this secret in here. But now I have a typo and I want to create or update the secret, so I can create a new version here on the top right corner, and I can view the secret and I say, oh, okay, I mistyped it, so I just have to add or change this value. When I save it, you see up here now a secondary version got created, and this is the versioning we have mentioned in the beginning. So you can just determine which version you want to read from, so your application won't crash as soon as you update this, because you can just tell your application you want to read version 1, and then when you update it, you can tell them to use version 2.
Cool, Manuel. So that's very cool to see. That it's very easy to set up that secret manager. It's just a click. I'm also very happy that we have that new services, and I got a new Vault now, a secrets manager available. Thank you for that also. And it's really easy. And you mentioned that it's also available via CLI, also available via API, so I can do something as code also. So that's very great to see, and that we have that new service available. It's cool that you both come here on stage from the product team and presenting it, first with a little introduction and then with a demo. Thank you very much for that. Yeah.
You're welcome. It was a pleasure to meet here, and Secrets Manager is now available, so try it out and give us some feedback.
Cool. Then we will continue with the next one, because we have other stuff for you available also. We've got another brand new services for you available. The next brand new service is DNS. Yes, Patrick. Patrick, you can come up to the stage.
I'm so excited to be here today.
And you got fast, okay. Great. Patrick, also before we jump into the topic directly and you show us some DNS stuff, maybe you can have some words about yourself first.
I'm Patrick Koss. I'm a cloud developer here in STACKIT. You might know me from previous system demos. I was responsible for the STACKIT Argus product, which is an observability service. I pushed it forward, getting it production ready. And now I'm here for the STACKIT DNS service. I did the same. And I give you a short introduction, what it does, what is the advantage of using it, and we will see.
Great, thank you. Then just jump in.
So first I have prepared a small presentation to clarify what the DNS service is. So first I want you to understand what it is and what it is not. So first we have a domain. You usually type it into your browser in your daily life, like portal.stackit.cloud, and then you get into the portal. And we are not selling domains. We are actually selling the domain name system. That's the second thing here. It's like the internet's phone book that is mapping your domain to an IP address. And the IP address is an identifier for a machine in the internet that is running your application. What you often hear in DNS is a zone. A zone is a folder, a namespace that is collecting all your records. It's something to manage. And then we have the concrete record that we want to resolve. So we are mapping a type and a name to a concrete value. which is based on the type. For example, here we see an A record that is always an IPv4, and that is what we want to do in our live demo. But first, we have to do some prerequisites. And actually, to resolve something, you have to create an application, and I did it beforehand. So I spent like tens, hundreds of hours creating a really, really awesome application only for this system, for this system demo. Then you have to get a domain because you want to resolve something. So we are not selling domains. That's why I ordered it somewhere else. And then I map together the domain name system, which is our service, together with the domain. And now, Chris, you might ask, okay, where's the benefit of using a domain name system if I can just put in my A record in the domain, right?
Yeah.
And we have basically 3 big advantages. So one is it's high available. So all of our DNS resolvers are multiplied. That means if one of them are getting into a failure mode, you still have a lot of resolvers left, and your domain is getting resolved. That's the most critical part about your system, right? If it doesn't resolve well, your user can't access your application. So second is the low latency. You want to place the resolvers nearby your users. So it's really fast to resolve. Otherwise, you have to wait, and it's resulting in a really bad user experience. And the third one is something with security. We offer a DOS protection. So if someone is trying to attack you, you are secured by it. All right, so we can jump into it and create a new zone and a record that is mapping a domain to a real application. And to do so, we have no clue how to do that, right? That's why you're going to the documentation. We want to know how it is done. And we have created a nice tutorial here in the DNS API section. We are describing what it is, what it does. And then let's jump into a zone, because that's the folder, the namespace we want to create and have to create to map our domain together with the IP address. And that's this part here. We create a zone. To create a zone, operation allows you to set up a new DNS zone within your project. That means every zone belongs to your STACKIT portal project. And this is reflected by the URL here. And I have copied it before into my terminal with a curl. And now I will explain what it means. So first we have this root URL, DNS API STACKIT.cloud. This is the identifier of our service. Then we have this route of projects. That means you always create a zone into the project. That's why there is a zone under project. For minimal information, you have to give it a name, which is arbitrarily to identify what a zone is, and the DNS name. This is the namespace where you can create your records in. So if you're firing the request, we see it's successfully created. Nice, that's what we want to see. And later on, we create resource records under the zone. That's why we need the ID of the zone. And it's in here with the ID field, and we have to copy it. So if you're following our documentation, we now created a zone and want to have the final feature to get our website resolved into the browser. It's this part here. I will explain it in the terminal again. So, but first, I have to export the zone ID, which I copied before. And then copy this command. And what it does here, we see there's the root URL, which is our application. Then we are creating the zone under the project and creating the resource record set under zone. That's why it's chained together like that. What we need here is we need a name, and the name must include the zone name. That's why it's called web systemo DNS STACKIT Cloud, because our zone is called systemo DNS STACKIT Cloud. And as mentioned before, a record always have a type. Here's the type A. That means we want to map an IPv4 address together to our name. And we got the IPv4 address here with the 45 something. So we fire it, and we're getting back. Everything was created fine. That's amazing. So we can copy this domain here. And if we jump back to our browser, type it in, we should see our application.
Yes.
It's awesome, right? So welcome to our Go Live party, first day where the DNS service is live. You can now use it, as you see, and welcome to the party.
Yes, don't know who can do the great kitten party out there. Very good, great to see that. So you created a reliable service with a fast response. I can manage my DNS zones, I can manage DNS entries, and everything already available in our live system. Patrick, that's very cool. So you don't show the UI for that, because I think you followed out just our approach to bringing up things first with API, later on enhance functionalities with the UI. So this will follow with the UI?
Of course, we wanted to get started fast. We want to provide a value to our customers so they can use it, as mentioned here.
Yeah.
And now we enhance the functionality and provide a UI in the upcoming days, weeks, we will see.
That's the way it should go. Thank you. So very great to see that
thanks for having me.
successful demo for the DNS topic. And thank you for presenting that.
See you, bye.
Okay, cool. So we've got the second new service for you available. And we don't want to waste any more time here by giving more comments. Come on, Jürgen, come on, Jens, come up the stage, because I know you have another heavyweight service thing for us in your luggage. Hey, great to have you here. Before we go into your topic, or topics, I have to say, it would be great if you can introduce yourself also to our audience out there. Jürgen, do you want to start?
Yes, of course. So my name is Jürgen Gremminger. I'm the product owner for MongoDB. And as you probably know, for MongoDB, we have two services. So the one is our existing one based on Bosch. And what we want to show you today is our new service, MongoDB Flex. Yes.
My name is Jens Wokasch. I'm also a product owner. And my team and I, we build a Postgres Flex service.
Okay, so I have two product owners on the stage for two different products. Yeah, it's both databases, but maybe you can reveal the secret why two product owners for two different products are at the same time on the stage. So you should have something in common, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Today we show our new Flex database services. With Postgres, we have our go live on the 2nd of May. What about you, Jürgen?
Yes, surprisingly, we had to go live on the same day. Yes, and today we want to show our new Flex service. Should we start with Postgres?
Yep, let's start with the portal.
Oh, then let's really quick share my screen.
On the left-hand side, you see we have more visibility. Oh, now. Yeah. On the left-hand side, you see the services. And if you click on one of them, you get an overview of all your databases. Yeah, let's create a new one.
So let's create a MongoDB one. As you can see, we changed the complete ordering process. The good thing is everything is now on one page.
Yeah. First of all, we give the instance a name. And then you choose the instance type. For Postgres, we have a single instance and a replica set of 3 nodes. What about you, Jürgen?
So as you can see, for MongoDB, we have the option sharded and also single and replica set.
And what's a sharded?
So a sharded cluster is a way of distributing data over multiple clusters. In our case, we use a combination. If you order a replica set, then you get 3 nodes. If you order a sharded cluster, then you get 9 nodes, means you get 3 replica sets in one system. And this is used for horizontally scaling. You can share your data over multiple servers.
Cool. Let's go on to the flavors. With the buttons on the top, you can filter of CPU and memory. And then you can choose one.
Yes, and if you choose one, you can see on the right side, we have also a new checkout bar. So if you choose one of them, then you get directly a new estimation of your monthly pricing.
Cool. And how many plans do you have for MongoDB?
So in our existing system, we are using service plans. So service plan means you get a fixed set of resources. But in our new system, we are using it more flexible. So you can choose a combination of CPU and memory, and you can freely choose your database size and some other things.
Let's go on with the disk.
So disk size is also flexible, but I want to mention one thing before. We have also new performance classes now on our system. Means you can choose between different classes, perhaps from performance class 2 to 12. And if you choose a 2, then you get different IOPS between 2, 4, 7, and 10. That's the reason behind that. Mm-hmm. So what we also have, we have 2 different versions. We have the version 5 and 6 now available. What about you, Jens? Do you also have different versions?
Yeah, for Postgres, we have the version 12, 13, and 14. And we currently work on the version 15. It will come soon. And the last option here is the access control list. Security is very important for our customers, so we add the STACKIT default IP range to it, so that the database is not directly connected to the internet. But every customer can insert his own IP range.
So I will order now a database, and as you probably could see, I ordered it in the 000/0 with the ACL. I would highly recommend you not to do this for a productive system because the database is available then. But now for our demo, it's okay. I want to show you how easy it is to connect to this database. But let's go to the Postgres first and see some other options over there.
If you go with an existing database, you can edit the settings. At the moment, you can edit the access control list and the backup schedule. But everything what we show today in the portal is also visible with usable with the API. And the most important thing is every change what you do, it will be changed directly on the fly. And that's it why we call our service Flex.
Okay. So let's move back to the MongoDB and see if the creation is still finished. But this will last some more minutes, and therefore I will directly jump in an existing one to show you some more options. So first of all, I want to show you how easy it is to connect to this database. Then we need a user for that. With the user creation button, so we have to fill in first the username and then we have to decide if we want to have a read or a read-write role. And we can choose if we want to use our default demo database or if we want to create one, perhaps something like that. Then we push the create button, and now we directly get a connect string to this database and our user and our password. So please store your password because this is only shown once. If we close this window, you will not get the password back. But now for this example, I will use the URI string, so the connect string, and I will switch to one of a database connection clients. In my case, I will use the Compass client. This is a MongoDB client, but you can also use every other client. So, and this is pre-filled now in this client. So if we do the connect, then you directly get a connection with the database. You see the new database is created, and you can directly start. So you are finished. In 2 minutes, you created the database, you have a connection, and you are able to fill in some data, create new connections. That's really awesome.
That's awesome, I would say, because you packed in a lot of stuff now in just a few minutes. You've got a complete new ordering flow process where you can more easy choose your your favorite flavor just by choosing on the right tabs. You have different performance class available. You just say in one sentence, okay, we also have some new versions in place. It's great. So from MongoDB and also from Postgre, that's awesome because I think our customers also always want to have the latest version in place, and I know you always having a look that we are keeping up to date, all that stuff. That's really very cool. And also to see the similarities that you have makes it even more easier for the customer because he just can follow the same approach. It doesn't matter if you want to order Postgres or MongoDB.
So we have some other new things and existing things. As you probably know, in our existing version, we have also a backup service. So the customer has the possibility to have in his dashboard his backups and can directly restore it or clone it. So restore is still clear. If you want to restore one of the backups, only one click and your backup is restored. The cloning function is that you can clone your instance from one to another, perhaps from a QA system to a productive system. And you can also change your schedule. This is up to the customer. If you want to have weekly or more weekly backups or more monthly backups or more daily backups, this is completely up to the customer. Every customer can choose his own options. And I want to give a small teaser. So it's not on the production system right now, but it's on the QA. We have our matrix also in place. So you can get your first important matrix like memory, like CPU, like disk utilization, IOPS, and so on. Everything in matrix. This will be also located under the instance. And as you can see, our new instance is also finished. And here you will get the matrix. I will think about it. Will be last 1 or 2 weeks. It's still finished in QA, and we will get it in 1 or 2 weeks.
Cool. And thank you for showing that already achieved outcomes with a little bit of an outlook. So I think the customers will really looking forward to the metrics also. But we received one question that I want to raise here. The new Flex service, do I have to order now just the Flex service, or what if I have a non-Flex service booked, for example, on MongoDB? Will it be deprecated, or how I should handle these two services?
So actually, it's not deprecated, so we have both possibilities, but we send a mail to our customers, to all of our customers, that it's now possible to change from A to B. So we will do the migration for you. It's very easy, so we have to find a date, but then in the background, we will do the migration, and we have only to change this connect string, as I mentioned some minutes before, and that's it.
Okay, and then the customer, if you use the new service, can benefit from the performance class and so on, from all the stuff.
And from all the new things, for new versions and so on.
Very cool. So, hey, I appreciate your show, your demo, what you showed. I think some of the customers out there are already clicking on it and will book the new service. So thank you for showing, and thank you that you were here.
Thanks, you.
Chris.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Now you see a new version of existing services, new service. We have now Flex service for you available with all that benefits for you. But we will directly continue with the next topic. Today we are in a hybrid mode, so not everybody is here on the stage. We have also some STACKITeers that will connect now remotely. The next person who will connect to us is Maurice, I think. We have Julius connected. Now Maurice, now the right face for the right person. Hey Maurice, great that you are here. I know you also brought some stuff to us. You have STACKIT CloudFoundry and a little bit more speed for that in your luggage. So maybe you can have some words about that. But first also, go ahead by introducing yourself briefly.
I'm Maurice Brinkmann, and I'm Cloud Product Owner in the runtime domain, responsible for the application PaaS solution, so platform as a service product.
Cool. Thank you for your introduction. Can you have some words about STACKIT CloudFoundry? What does it do in general, and what are the speed enhancement, I would say, that you bring to us?
Right. Yeah, before we come to this, maybe I share a bit about what CloudFoundry is, where you can find it in our STACKIT portal and so on. So if you log into the STACKIT portal, into your project, you'll find CloudFoundry right there at the runtime domain. And if you wonder, well, if I can get the Kubernetes engine, why do I need CloudFoundry? Then I have a few slides for you. So you might wonder, what is application PaaS or PaaS, platform as a service, actually? Most guys most will think about containers if you think about PaaS, but it's just not containers, because if you would put a container to a public Kubernetes offering, for example, you will actually deal more with infrastructure as a service solution and not with the platform as a service solution. And that is because if you host your application on STACKIT CloudFoundry, then your container, everything you need to provide for your container, it's just your application code and the data, actually. And everything else is managed by STACKIT. So within your application container, there is the runtime and everything else that needs to be there to run your application, and you don't have to deal with all of this. So this is actually what's all about managed CloudFoundry or managed application PaaS. And before we come to our new enhancements there, I just show you real quick where you can find it. So you can book different organizations here in the STACKIT portal. This is just for you to organize all your applications and to have separate user management right there. And for each organization, you can have multiple spaces. You can name them as you wish. By default, you have a dev, prod, and QA space, and you can, with that, separate your stages, for example. And in all of these spaces, there's a tiny link, open in console, and there you have the chance to open a simple web UI that allows you, besides the CLI and the API that we provide, and that is just, as you know, open source CloudFoundry right there. You just have this UI for a very quick look at your applications, and you can scale up and down your instances right there. That's it. Before we come to the enhancements, maybe real quick to show you how you add and how fast it is to add a new application there. If you don't want to use the CLI and from your works, from your laptop or so, to upload the project, or you don't want to use the API in one of your build pipelines, you can also use this web UI and directly connect to GitHub or on any other source code management systems. You just pick your organization and your space. For example, I would like to provision something in the QA space, and then you can, as you saw earlier, I show us GitHub. And if you just type in the project on GitHub, and even if you don't remember really what it was named, after a few seconds, it will give you some hints with what you already gave as information. For example, I would like to deploy this nice AI project. Then you see some branches. In this case, that's just the master branch. You can even pick a commit if you would like to go back a few commits. And then you just give it a nice name, like my awesome AI project. And if you wish, you can also adjust some quotas for disk space and memory. Actually, we bill you by the memory we use. So no requests per second or per minute or per month, no traffic. It's just the memory right now. And then you click on deploy, and actually what's now done, the source code is uploaded to our platform, the container is built, the application is deployed. and start it, and you can directly access it via a URL. So what changed now since the last time? We enabled HTTP 2 support for the platform. That means if you have an application that loads a lot of resources in parallel, like a lot of images or a lot of JavaScript files, you will benefit from this, but you might need to try out if your app is really benefiting from it. It depends highly on the app. But also, if you use frameworks like the gRPC, which is an open source remote procedure call framework, it requires HTTP2, and now you will be able to run it on our platform.
Cool, Maurice. Thank you for showing that. So you showed us it's really easy for the developers. If you have your code already available, just bring it to the cloud to deploy your application. Everything will be done automatically in the background, and also have that HTTP 2 feature in place now that really can speed up your behavior of your application, I would say.
And if you wonder how to enable it, you can just follow the official way. So it's just open source CloudFoundry, so you can just provide it either with the CLI, destination protocol HTTP2, or you configure it in your manifest, specifying your route and that it should be an HTTP2.
Okay, thank you, Maurice. Thank you for showing that, and thank you for connecting remote and show our audience what you have achieved. Thank you. And we are keeping in that hybrid mode, or in that remote way, I would say, because we are now connect to Borislav, so I can send out greetings to Bulgaria. Great to have you here, Borislav. I see you are already connected. You are guested sometimes already to our system demo, so you're not the first time here, but you show up with a new feature that you have available. Please say hello to our audience and then jump into what you have brought together today.
Hi everyone, my name is Borislav Totev and I'm product owner in STACKIT Most team. We help you to manage some operations regarding STACKIT servers automatically, like server backup and now server update. And we are also responsible for all public STACKIT images, which you can see in STACKIT portal.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Borislav.
And yeah, I'm here to explain to you that we just released a new service, but before I go into details how you can use and what you can do with it, let me quickly explain why we decided to build this new service. We believe that we must protect servers and people. Servers on which critical for the business systems are running, and the people which maintain them. We believe that we must boost performance and efficiency by creating easy-to-use cloud services. Cloud services which will help you to manage and improve your operations by automating repetitive tasks. That's why we created the server update management service, and it will help you to stay secure and compliant by regularly and automatically updating your servers outside of business working hours. It will reduce your time, complexity, and efforts connected with keeping your servers up to date and updating your different operating systems. But let's go directly into the demo and show you how you can use this in the STACKIT portal. If you have a project in STACKIT and you have already migrated your project to this new and cool and more stable new environment, you can go into the server part here, and if you want to create a new server and just activate this server update management system service is very easy. You just click here to create a server, then go on the left in the management, activate the server update management, and create your server. If you want to create another server, but choose other type of operating system, not the default one, which is Ubuntu, but you want to choose Debian, CentOS, Windows, Fedora, Alma Linux, Rocky, or any other version of this operating system, the process is the same. Choose your operating system, go into the management, activate the server update management. If you agree to keep this default update schedule, your server will be automatically updated during the weekend. Go and create the server. As you can see, the process is standard and the same for all operating systems. After your server is created, if you go into the server details, on the left you can see the updates part. The service is already enabled. If you go into the history, you can update your server from here. Without the need to go inside it and log in, you can just click here, agree that your server will be updated or restarted if there is a need, and trigger the process. You can also monitor the status of your update job from here without the need to log in. In case of critical zero-day vulnerabilities, if you want to update your server as soon as a patch is released, you can do this from here or from our API. You can update multiple servers. If we go into the schedule, we can see that this default update schedule is automatically created and your server will be updated in the next Saturday. If you want to change it, and you can use our advanced options here and choose, for example, to update it on every second Saturday of the month. You can save it and then the schedule will be updated. If you want, you can also create additional schedules, and that's it. Your server will be always secure and updated. But if you, in case of audit or a revision, you need to prove this, you can go and show the history. I will choose and use one existing server, and you can go into the updates, into the history, and if they ask you for evidence that your server is regularly updated, you can just show them here the history that it is really updated and some updates were installed. If you have existing server and you want to use this new service, you can go again into server details, enable the service, and follow the next steps. If the next steps is that you need to run a script inside the server to configure the update management. The scripts are documented here in our official documentation, so you can see the script for the Windows and another script for the Windows servers. That's it. Again, protect your people and your servers. Activate the server update management service and stay focused on your core business.
That's cool, Borislav. So, yeah, focus on your core business. You don't have to do that repetitive task all the time because you just can take that service. Your servers will be up to date, and if there's a zero-day exploit, you can just go into it and have the update instantly. Borislav, I think this is a feature the customer really will love and yeah, will just activate because I want to prevent that repetitive task, I would say, if I was in the shoes of the customer here. So great, Borislav, to thank to showing that. You already answered some questions during your session I wrote down, so I can do the schedule also, I can adjust the schedule. I've wrote down that also I can have a look when the updates was running. So if in the case of an audit, I can have a look at it or can show it to the auditor that I've got it in place. So very cool, Borislav, to see that. You did a great job, you and your team, of course. And thank you for showing us that. Cool. Then we can go on with a face that you might seen before. It's Julius, not because he was displayed a few minutes ago. He's always part of this of the system demo because the Kubernetes guys got also updates for us. Julius, introduce yourself to the audience and tell us what you brought to us.
Yeah, hi everybody. So my name is Julius and I'm the product owner of the Managed Kubernetes service here in STACKIT. Yeah, we are offering a managed Kubernetes service so that you can leverage all the advantages that Kubernetes brings to you, but don't take care of the management of the operations for the cluster itself. And you can take care of all of the advantages that Kubernetes uses. Yeah, it's not me that is always here in the system demo, always also my team shows a lot. Yeah, and we are always happy to hear your feedback, what you want to see next in the Kubernetes service to always improve it.
Cool. Thank you, Julius. Yeah. That's great. And you bring another version to us, right? And to a little bit spoiler that, you're also heading for bringing new versions to us, right?
Yes, so great, Chris, that you mentioned it already. So we have a new Kubernetes version in place, and that is something that we want to fulfill every MVP. So we want to really go with the Kubernetes flow of having new versions available that you can use all of these new features and security and bug fixes that are available in new Kubernetes versions for yourself and for your cluster. Exactly. So I will just show you real quick how it looks like.
Yes.
Right. So how you can update your cluster. I think you can see my screen. We have the Kubernetes management or the Kubernetes engine here on the left side. Perfect. And now it shows. And then I have two clusters prepared already. One, with a cryptic name. The other one is called System Demo with the 1.25, 1.24 version. And now we can update the Kubernetes version, just clicking on the cluster, clicking on the edit button, and then selecting the newest or the latest Kubernetes version that we have in our portfolio. You click on save, and now our cluster management engine running in the background will take care of the update, and that's it, what you need to configure.
Easy as 1, 2, 3, cool.
Yes, so quite easy to do it. You can also do it via our API. What Chris mentioned already, all of these features are available in our API. And I will just show you real quick what is happening in the 1.25 release. So it's tagged or under the release name Combiner with 40 new enhancements in total. So some important things are here. For example, the support for ephemeral containers and also the support for C group v2 graduated to stable. And we have several new features in 1.25. So for example, support for user namespaces and also container checkpointing. Feel free to use them. You can now do it within STACKIT. And one important mention is that pod security policies got removed, or they are deprecated. They are now replaced by pod security admission. And we have built an update mechanism for this so that you can click on your cluster, you update it, and if you're still using pod security policies, it will mention it in the updating process. And so feel free to update your cluster, and happy to have this new version in place. And thanks to the SKE colleagues for this.
Thank you, Julius. Thanks for that quick update. You're not alone here today, is that right?
Yes, that's right. So I will directly hand over to Simon.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. My name is Simon. I'm one of the cloud software engineers working with the SKE team. And I'm here with a short feature introduction today, which is the ACL feature. We already heard about access control earlier when we listened to the database colleagues. So the feature I'm going to show you right now is one of the API first features. It will be available in the portal shortly, but for now we're going to focus on a demonstration using the API. And just some short words about the ACL feature in general. It allows you to simply secure your cluster even further by simply selecting which source IPs or IP ranges can actually access your cluster API. So I think I'm sharing my screen already. So let's jump right in. Here you see, just to mention this quickly in the beginning, our documentation. If you want to get started with this feature and implement it yourself right after the demo, you can find the documentation in our documentation page, but also we have our API documentation. If you want to get started immediately with the API docs, you can use our API here. And what you can see here is in the extension section that we have two extensions currently available. One is Argus. We demoed this in a previous system demo, but for now I want to show you the ACL feature, and I've prepared a short demo for that. So let's move over. We saw before you can use curl to access our API. I choose Postman. You can use whatever floats your boat, Restish or whatever you like. I think this is quite easy to show. So I have two clusters here. This is our first one called sysdemo. I'm also connected to it on the right-hand side with kube control. And what we see down here is that we have in the extension section ACL configured. You just need to enable it and then specify the allowed sitters. Sitter is a common notation for APIs and for IPs and IP ranges, of course. And I configured here that the only allowed sitter is a single IP address. You recognize this by the /32 suffix. This simply means the IP 1234 is the only one allowed to access this cluster. I give you a short hint. I am not using IP 1234, so I should be denied access to this cluster. Let's see if that works or does not work, in fact. So what you see here is that I'm not being able to connect to the server at all. This will soon time out. There we go, unable to connect to the server. This is the ACL restriction in place. I'm not allowed to access this cluster at all. And therefore, I have a second cluster because I want to actually show you some SKE clusters. It's called SKE demo. And instead of 1234 being allowed only, I have something else here. I have, of course, also Argus enabled because I care about my cluster metrics. But we showed this in a previous system demo, so you know that probably already. Down here, I have ACL configured again, this time with an IP range, recognizable by the /16 suffix. And this time, my IP is actually in that range, so I should be allowed access to that cluster. I will switch over here to my second cluster and also try to get some nodes. And you see, blazing fast answer from the API server. I'm totally allowed to access this cluster. And with this short demo, I think we showed that we delivered another feature that is simple to use, makes your cluster more secure, and therefore pays tribute to the core principles that STACKIT provides, simplicity and security. And I think that's it from the SKE team. Chris, back to you in the studio. Thanks for having us.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Simon. Thank you, Julio. So, yeah. Short demo, but you brought it to the point. It's just more secure now, and also to having that new version in place is great. So thank you for showing us that, and we are looking forward to see you in the next system demo as well. And now the next person on the stage is already there, so we're switching again back from remote to on-site. Daniel, you are here. You are from DSA team. Yes. Maybe you can have some words about you and tell also what is DSA or what it stands for.
Yes, of course. Great. So my name is Daniel. I'm the product owner of the Data Service Access team, and in our team we are responsible for provisioning the DSA services, which are RabbitMQ, Postgre, OpenSearch, Elasticsearch, Redis, MariaDB. And for these services, of course, we have some news, and I want to share that with you.
Thank you. Then you can just go ahead. We're very interested.
Yeah. First, we have created new service plans. So let's go to the portal. I think I'm already sharing. You can find our new service plans under the service section right here on the left side. And if you want to create a new service, then let's say MariaDB, then you will see that we have a lot of new plans. So what are the benefits of these plans? The new naming schema is clearer. You can now easily recognize what hardware specification the plan has. This means you can directly see how many CPUs, RAM, or disk you will get. The schema is, first of all, the service name itself. Then we have the CPU, Then we have the memory in gigabytes of RAM. And then we have the disk. And at last we have the cluster, or if it's a replica, if it's a cluster, and single node if it's a single instance, for example, here. Yeah, so this means you can profit from cheaper prices because you don't have to upgrade to a much bigger plan. And yeah, for the new service plans, we also have implemented more or a more performant storage. This means the bigger the plan, also the bigger the I/O speed and the I/Os and the transfer speed. And yeah, for upcoming service versions, only the new plans will be available, and yeah, this will be the default for us.
Very cool to see that. So if I can choose these new flavors, you said it's a little bit better because it's more specific for my needs. I have more plans available with better performance classes, so I can search something in between. If there was a big plan and a small one, exactly. I can also choose something in between, right?
Exactly. You don't need to take a much bigger plan, and maybe you don't have the need for.
That's great. Okay, cool to see that. Do you have also information about updates of existing services?
Yes, of course. This is the second 2 point. I can also show it in the portal. It's under the same section, and maybe you already have recognized that we have launched RabbitMQ 3.10 as a new version. We have Postgre in version 13. And MariaDB 10.6, and brand new since today morning, OpenSearch 2 as a completely new service. This will be the replacement of the Elasticsearch services, and yeah, feel free to try it out and play around.
So new versions available for RabbitMQ, Postgre, MariaDB, and OpenSearch.
OpenSearch is completely new, and the other three are updates.
Awesome,
yes.
Awesome, really. And the service plans are available also for these?
Yes, of course. These are available for this and are live. You can try it, you can order it, you can work with it.
I love it. So that's a great big firework, I would say, at the end, that we have new services and then again these new versions available and new service plans available. Very cool.
Yes, we are very happy.
So great that you are also here and showing this to us. So for you out there, you can just go into the portal, just book the services that are available now. And yeah, that's also so far from our product team. So it was really a pleasure for me to be your host today, to show you all that amazing new functionalities that we brought out to you. And we hope that will help you by solving your problems, by going your way to the cloud. What I also want to mention, I think I have 2 minutes left. There was some questions during that session. I only had the chance to pick up 1 or 2 of them, but we don't forget you. So some of the questions were already answered over the chat. If not, then they will still be answered. I want to point out now to 3 events that we have. They are already displayed. Great. Thank you for that. We have here the STACKIT Days. That's the first thing. On the 27th of June, it's a Schwarz internal event. So I think about 500 people from Schwarz can be on site. The others can connect remotely. So look forward to that. Scan the QR code to get more information about that. And then a similar event, but for the externals, we have the Cloud X Summit. For that, we have the motto with experience, exchange, and explore. There you have the chance as an external developer, IT decision maker. You can go to that event and will get some information about STACKIT in general, what is possible with STACKIT, and you also will see some success stories there. It starts also on the 27th as a network evening event, and on the 28th it's the whole day, so you can join us there. And of course, we want to see you again in the next STACKIT system demo. It's not that far away. It's in September, and we will inform you about that also. So that was so far. Thank you for taking part in that system demo. I explicitly want to thank you, all the Stackiteers out there that put that much effort in the development of the products that you can enjoy as our audience, as our customers. Yeah, just say thank you, and then nothing more than say goodbye and see you next time. Thank you very much for joining, everybody out there. See you.